Hi folks, good to see you again and good to be with you. This is the second video that I'm recording about the chakra system that we have in our body, both our physical body and also our energy body. So this time we're going to be looking at the first chakra, the first of the main chakras, the main 7 chakras that we have, and that is the root chakra, which is known in Sanskrit as the Muladhara chakra. This chakra is found technically at the base of the spine. It's actually at the point of the perineum, where the perineum is. So right at the bottom of the abdomen, basically. So we talked about how there is what in effect is a channel which runs right the way through the meridian of our body. And through this channel passes Shakti energy, also known as Kundalini in this particular context. And the Kundalini energy is coiled, it's said, like a serpent, like a snake, right at the bottom of the spine. Now, what I'd like us to do is to get a good overall picture of what the chakra system is, about the fact that energy is in everything on earth, everything is created by energy, everything runs on energy, and because the root chakra is at the lower part of the body where we sit, this is seen as the point through which the Shakti energy flows into the body, is brought up. So we have these 7 different chakra points in the body, which range from the root, going all the way up to the crown. And the root chakra is seen as a vortex. If you can imagine a sort of a spinning vortex action, which is actually points downwards, and it actually takes up the earth's energy. So this is why this particular chakra is so important. It's our foundation. It's the block that we build on in order to ascend this virtual ladder, as it were, this series of stages as we go on towards enlightenment, towards an awakening. So the root chakra, as I said, right at that base there, it's seen that there is a serpent, if you like. This is my very rough sort of mock-up, if you like. So if you can imagine that this is your spine, and if you can imagine this is the Kundalini energy, which is coiled at the base of the spine, what the Kundalini energy wants to do, because the Kundalini energy represents the goddess Shakti, and Shakti is actually the partner, the wife of Shiva, who is seen as the supreme sort of godhead, if you like, the supreme masculine energy of God, if you like. So that in the ancient Sanskrit and the Vedas, the Upanishads and all of the ancient scriptures over there, they attribute different attributes of God are given to different gods and goddesses, if you like. So Shiva and Shakti are almost like the male and female counterparts of the supreme God, which is the overarching creator God. So Shiva is the one who presides over it all with the masculine energy, the wisdom, etc. Shakti is the one that brings the power, the energy. So this energy is represented as a serpent, as a snake. It's known to us also as Kundalini energy. So if you can imagine this energy is coiled down here, if this is the bottom of our spine, the root chakra, right down there, then what she, Shakti, wants to do is she wants to be reunited with Shiva, who is at the head up here. And in order to do that, she needs to ascend up through the various chakra points. So going up through the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and then eventually she gets to the very top. And this Kundalini energy reunites with the divine, which is Shiva. So, but at the moment, for most of us, this energy is sitting coiled, waiting to be released, as it were. So that's just my little illustration of that, if you can take what I'm saying from that. So basically, what our root chakra governs is all of our base energies, our survival needs. It's the chakra that is to do with us keeping us alive, basically. So as I spoke last time about this journey up the river and the fact that we start out at the point where everything is wild, everything is untamed, and we're trying to basically stay alive. This root chakra is what governs our basic primal needs. So the need for food, the need for a safe place to live, shelter, sleep, basic things like that, basic sort of reproduction, things like that. And so it's basically just the baseline. But as we know, when we build a building, it's vitally important that we build a good foundation first. It's no good me building the most fantastic building without getting the foundations right, because it just won't stand. It'll just fall down. You can tart up and titivate any building, but if the foundation's not good, then the whole building could topple down. So when we want to build upon the base, the root chakra, Muladhara means root, Mula, root, Adhara, base. So basically it is just that. It's what we build upon. So it's vitally important to get that right. It's no good us trying to get further in our spiritual walk, in our spiritual ascent, if we haven't got the foundation right first. So why would there be any problem with this, you could ask? Well, if, as we've spoken, the chakras are energy centres in the body, the 7 main chakras are those vital points through which this energy travels, the vast majority of it. And what we need to do is we need to establish that base, as I've said before, and that energy needs to be allowed to flow through the body. When the energy is flowing through the body, the Shakti energy, then we are healthy physically, and we also are able to move in that direction towards the ascent, towards enlightenment. But each one of the chakras can be inhibited, it can be blocked, it can be stagnant, it can not be activated, it cannot be working sometimes. Sometimes the energy in a chakra is too low, sometimes it's too high. The root chakra is most notable for when it's not working properly. We suffer from things like anxiety, fears, distress, feeling of lack of connection with other people. We can manifest in physical forms like eating disorders, because it's to do with meeting that basic need. So it can be overeating, it can be eating disorders like anorexia, it can be manifest in things like anxiety or even depression. So there are these various different things that can be affected by that lack of energy flowing through the root chakra. So it's vitally important to get this base, this root, sorted first of all. So how can we go about actually activating the root chakra and getting the energy to flow? Well, the traditional means are through things that we've looked at before, which are chants. And there's one particular chant in Sanskrit and in the yogic tradition. There are a number of mantras which are seen as seed mantras. They don't particularly have a translatable English counterpart to them. What they're seen as is their sounds, their vibrations, and when uttered in the right way, they will have an effect on us spiritually. So the mantra for this Muladhara root chakra, which is depicted here, you'll see it's a circle containing a square, which represents the base. Inside that is a triangle, which represents the feminine Shakti energy. Here you see the symbol for Muladhara, and it's outlined there by a 4-petaled lotus. So the mantra for this particular chakra is Lum. It's pronounced Lum. It looks like lamb to us, the way it's been transliterated into English, but it's actually pronounced Lum. And when we utter this sound, this chant, Lum, we produce this sound by putting the tongue to the roof of the mouth for the L sound, and then we almost create the Lum. The sound is a sort of a nasal sound, which we will feel sort of vibrating, resonating in the nasal cavity there. And that sound is one of the ways that we actually activate the chakra and we actually help to get the energy flowing. Another way to activate the chakra is to use a particular mudra. The Prithvi mudra is how we do this. So if you hold your hand out like that, if you curl the ring finger down and then you meet that with the tip of the ring finger with the tip of the thumb there, and then we keep extended the index finger, the middle finger and the little finger there. And then what we do then, we do this and we put the hands palm upwards on the knees as we sit in the meditation pose. It's obviously, as with all meditation poses, we keep our spine straight in order to facilitate this flow of Shakti through the body. The other means by which we can activate this is actually to do what's known as Mula Bandha practice, which is actually to, as we breathe in, we actually raise the pelvic floor muscles. Not only women but men also have these muscles as well. And if you can imagine, just as we inhale, we just lift the pelvic floor and then release. So if we combine these three together, and by using the mala as well. So we can use the mala, we can do 108 rotations, practicing the Prithvi mudra and chanting Lam. We can go around, and as we breathe in, we raise the pelvic floor and breathe out Lam. If we can combine all these together. I'm not suggesting that we all can manage to do all those together. It's a bit like riding a bicycle and balancing a plate at the same time, if you like. But with practice, it is possible. But if we can just chant and use the mudra at the same time, then we're certainly well on the way, and we're certainly in the process of activating that chakra. Other ways to activate the root chakra, the Muladhara, are to walk outside, especially in nature. And the best way to do it, if possible, weather permitting, this is the UK, so we have to be careful and careful where we go. But if we can walk barefoot, possibly on the earth, possibly on the grass, somewhere nice and safe outside, we're actually, the soles of our feet, we are actually absorbing the Shakti energy as well. That life force which resonates through all of nature. So the Shakti is not just in us, in our bodies, it's also in the earth, as an earth energy. It's also in the trees, the plants, the animals, everything. Just spending some time with some animals as well, is another good way to do it. Maybe if you've got pets as well, just spend some time sort of playing with them as well. It's all good. It's all ways that we are reconnecting with nature, and that's what the root chakra is all about. It's making that connection with nature in order to reconnect. Because let's face it, our ancestors, they were much more in tune with nature. They were much more at one with the earth. In the days when, and it's still in the parts of the world where agriculture is a big thing and people are really there getting into the earth. Maybe you're a farmer, maybe some people know some farmers. You're getting involved with nature. But very much in cultures that aren't so sort of urbanised, aren't so sort of man-made, as it were, then the disconnect is often there with nature. So it's good to get back there. Try and find a green space. If you haven't got a garden, if you haven't got parks that you can go to, there may be some house plants. I've got some plants in the house. It's good to just connect with them, make that connection with nature. Another way is to eat vegetables, root vegetables especially. Anything that grows in the earth and the soil is good. So all of these things are good to do. The Muladhara root chakra is seen as a red colour, a red depicted by a red light, a red turning disc, if you like, or vortex. So as we chant, as we meditate, we can focus upon that red light, that red colour as well. That's also good to do. So these are all ways that we can start to rebalance that chakra. And the benefits are things like we can boost things like our self-confidence. We can boost our energy, because lack of energy is another thing that's synonymous with blockages and lack of energy at the root chakra. So that's one good thing. Also, reduction in anxiety, more calmness, more peace. Basically, when we are meeting our basic needs, that's the first thing that we need to do. So before we are starting to think about activating the other chakras that are above the root chakra, we need to think about the root first of all, because we need to get that foundation right. And so if you've got any needs at all, satisfy them first before you sit down to meditate. If you're hungry, have something to eat. If you're tired, get some sleep, get some rest. We need to make sure that all of the basic human needs are there and satisfied first of all, before we start to think about trying to move up to the other chakras. So I hope that makes sense. If anybody has any questions to ask about the root chakra, what it is and how we can activate it, or the practices that I've mentioned, or if anybody wants to share any experiences that they've had, then feel free to message me. Drop a message in the comments box. If you like the video, if it makes sense, then I'd love to hear some feedback from you as well. By all means, give it a thumbs up if it resonates with you, if it makes sense. This is the second in my series about the chakras. If you want to look back, you'll see there's a video as well about the Shakti itself and that river of energy that flows up through our bodies. The next one that I will be looking at will be the sacral chakra. So stay tuned for that one. And thank you for listening. And I will see you in the next video. Namaskaram.